Welcome to you, my name's Dayle and this is DaylesAddiction. Today we're joined by Edwina because there's a thunderstorm outside and she's very scared of thunder and lightning, and she's sitting on my feet, so I thought I'd just hold on to her for a little bit until she calms down. You seem pretty happy just sitting there, don't you? So look, today I am bringing you Connor's tag, which is 5 luxury items I'll never buy. Now, I recently did a video talking about luxury items I'd never buy again. So this video is different because this video I'm talking about items I will never buy. So there are 5 things that I came up with, and to be honest, it was a bit hard because I find these videos a little bit, dare I say, hypocritical, because I think the human race is pretty good at justifying anything we want to. And so from the perspective of luxury things that we won't buy and how we justify not buying them but buying other things, well, I think we can contradict ourselves, but I'm going to put that disclaimer out there right now. Everything I say and do can be used against me to justify any comments around me being a hypocrite. So I'll just call them out first and then you can second them if you like. Are you okay now? Are you okay now? You want to sit down? It's a bit scary, isn't it? Look at her little face. Look at her little face on her. Is it okay? Alright. Just make sure she's alright. I've probably got her little furs on me. Okay, so where am I going to start? Right. I'm going to start where I always start, which is luxury branded fine jewellery. Now, I am going to cop some shade for this, but I know, it's just me, and everyone can have their own opinion. But to me, buying, I will never buy Cartier Love range. I will never buy the Van Cleef & Arpels Alhambra range. I'll never buy the Tiffany & Co. whatever Return to Tiffany range, because to me, I don't doubt that there is quality in each of those brands, but everyone has those pieces, and I know that that is no different to everyone having the same handbags. But for me, I think jewellery is quite a different investment to a handbag, in my opinion anyway. Fine jewellery, that is. And I am being a total hypocrite because here I am doing this video wearing costume jewellery, for which I have paid, say, $1,000 for these earrings, and I could probably get quite a nice pair of diamond earrings for $1,000 in a precious metal of some description. I get it. That's why I'm saying it's hypocritical. But for me, I'm not paying for packaging on jewellery because I think that for me, jewellery is very personal, and I don't want the same jewellery that everybody else has when it comes to fine jewellery. But when it comes to fashion jewellery, then go hell for leather, in my opinion. So these are just my opinions, what I'm not going to buy. Look at me in the disclaimers. All right, I'm carrying on. Now, the second thing that I'm not going to buy is luxury luggage from any house. I used to have a Louis Vuitton Keepall 45. I wanted to flex on an overseas trip, and I took advantage of the tourist refund scheme, so I got 10% off. I hated that bag. It's so heavy, so cumbersome, so prone to being damaged on the vachetta pieces. If you get the bags without the vachetta, it's probably more hardy. But I don't want to lug around this big Keepall on my shoulder full of things. It doesn't have wheels on it. And then I look at the wheeled options and I think, I don't know what the weather's going to be like at the other end. Am I going to just hide out in the airport until it stops raining before I can walk out to the taxi rank? I actually think some of the Louis Vuitton luggage is actually pretty good value for money when you compare it to, say, a handbag, and particularly if you travel a lot. But For me, I'm just not there, and I'm not sure that I will ever be. Can you hear that thunder? It's weird. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning and it's doing that. It's odd, and it's winter. I don't get it. So the third thing that I am not going to buy from luxury houses is any headwear. So what I'm talking about is the bucket hats from Burberry and Dior. I'm talking about the baseball caps from the Gucci multicolour collection, although I really do like those. Me and hats, we have this issue. I think I've got a weird shaped head, or I just don't like the look of hats on me. And when I do wear a hat, it's usually because it's hot outside and therefore I'm sweating and I've probably got makeup on, especially if I'm wearing a luxury hat, because I probably, want to flex somehow. And so the combination of sweat and makeup stains around the band of the cap, not a great idea. Also, when I'm wearing a hat, I'm usually travelling, and so packing hats is a really tricky thing to do. I know you can do it, I know there are ways, but I'm probably just a bit lazy, and so I ruin my hats when I pack them. I'm the kind of person that goes on holiday and I buy a hat from the tourist stand and I wear it for the holiday and then I bin it at the end. That's how I use hats. Now, I realise that is hypocritical, considering that I spent $400 on a designer scrunchie. But this is not a hat. This is a scrunchie. This I can wash. I can wash more easily. And this is something that I can wear for work. And I'm not going to wear a baseball hat to work, so this is how I justify it. This costs more than the Burberry bucket hat. Now that's saying something about how we can justify things. I'm just going to keep digging this hole that I'm digging. Thanks, Connor. All right, the fourth luxury item that I am not going to buy are vintage bags. Now, I know that there are a lot of you who love the chase of the vintage bag, especially the vintage Chanel. And for me, it used to be on my ultimate wish list to have a Chanel flap from the 80s because I'm an 80s baby. But honestly, I look at them, I'm seeing those Diana flaps coming through from Chanel that have been trendy for the past couple of years, and they're old and they're still $4,200, like the one that I recently found on the Persefair, and I'm like, I don't want to pay $4,200 for something that's old and probably a little bit smelly and not in the best condition. And I know that is, you either love that or you don't. I'm all for pre-loved though. I'm keen for pre-loved, where you miss out on something from a particular season and you're able to chase it up because it didn't work out for somebody else, or they're just, recalibrating their collection. But vintage, I'm talking like more than 10 years old and used pretty significantly and probably sparred. Yeah, I'm not for it. And the final thing that I'm not going to buy from luxury houses is drinkware. So what I'm talking about is drink flasks, like the Prada drink flask, or straws, reusable straws, like the Dior Riviera straws. Look, I love the idea of these, don't get me wrong, but I am not someone who likes to carry around big water bottles with me. I hate carrying water around. That's why I bought my Memo bottle that fits inside my handbag. For me, drinking water that is flat and not sparkling is a challenge. I've just never been a big water fan, so I've got to make it something that I want to drink. So I add bubbles, and everything's better with bubbles, let's face it. And a lot of these flasks aren't as airtight as they could be, and so they don't really store bubbly water very well. And because they tend to be aluminium, they tend to flatten your water, and I don't like the taste that comes from the aluminium bottles. I don't know, I'd prefer to drink my water out of a glass. So yeah, and reusable straws, I do use them at home, but I'm not carrying a straw around in my handbag. I mean, I'm not there yet. And then there's the silicone versions, and I'm like, no. So look, I know it probably makes absolute no sense, and that's fine. We're all a bit nuts in what we can justify to ourselves, and it doesn't matter if it's luxury, if it's anything, we can justify it. Trust me, this is what I do for a living. So I'm fully aware of the hypocrisy that I have presented in this tag video, but it is a tag video and it's for entertainment purposes only. So thanks, Connor, for tagging me and turning your video into a tag. I think it's a great discussion point. There are many stupid luxury things that I would buy, and if you're interested in that video, please let me know and I'll make that video, because that will be a fun video to make. If you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I put out videos on Wednesdays and Sundays. So I'll see you next time. Bye.